America's most dangerous cars of the 1960s, focusing on vehicles, industrial technologies, and public utility vehicles that earned reputations for being dangerous due to design flaws, lack of regulation, or simply not meeting safety standards. Dear viewers, please subscribe to our channel. Thank you for your support. Number 5. Why the 1957 Oldsmobile 88 was considered one of the worst by some. It had a powerful rocket 5.8, but it was also heavy and underbraked. The drum brakes struggled to slow the car reliably, especially in emergencies or on hills. 1957 was a rushed model year for GM across several divisions. Many 88s left the factory with fit and finish issues, rattling trim, and early signs of corrosion. Electrical and fuel system problems were more common than usual, even by 1950s standards. Floaty handling. The ride was smooth, but too soft and vague. Steering response was slow, and the car was easily unsettled in corners or crosswinds. Critics said it felt like driving a sofa on roller skates. Like most cars of the era, no seatbelts, no crash protection, and sharp metal interior trim. Combined with speed, it was dangerous in collisions. Terrible fuel. Economy. Some drivers reported under 10 miles per gallon in city driving, with the big Rocket V8 and 2-speed automatic. At a time when fuel prices were rising, that was a turnoff for budget-conscious buyers. The 1957 Oldsmobile 88 looked great and sold well, but underneath the chrome and fins was a heavy, poorly handling cruiser with outdated tech and spotty reliability. It was far from the worst car ever, but many saw it as a step back for Oldsmobile. Number 4. Why the 1957 Buick Century was considered the worst model. Buick stuffed a massive 300-plus horsepower V8 into the shorter, lighter body of the Special. It earned the nickname Banker's Hot Rod, but it had drum brakes and no modern suspension or traction aids, making it unstable at speed. Many owners complained about overheating, transmission failures, especially the Dynaflow automatic, and electrical problems. The car was heavy, which wore out tires, brakes, and suspension components faster than average. With vague steering, soft shocks, and a high center of gravity, the Century didn't corner well. Critics said it floated like a boat and handled worse than even larger Cadillacs of the time. Like most 1950s cars, no seatbelts, metal dashboard, rigid steering column, and no side impact protection. Powerful car plus poor control equals higher accident risk. While some love its aggressive styling, others felt the excessive chrome, tail fins, and ornamentation crossed into gaudy. Its looks have aged more awkwardly than some sleeker 1957 rivals like the Chevy Bel Air. The 1957 Buick Century had bold looks and raw speed, but it came at the cost of safety, comfort, and reliability. It was flashy, fast, and flawed. A car that didn't quite live up to the premium image Buick aimed for. Number 3. Why the 1957 Dodge Coronet was considered capricious. Unreliable build quality. Dodge rushed production to compete with Chevy and Ford's flashy redesigns, and it showed. Many early models suffered from poor panel fit, electrical glitches, and fluid leaks, especially in the transmission and cooling systems. The 1957 Coronet came with several engine options, including the red Ram V8 and the powerful Super D 500 HEMI, but these engines could be high maintenance. Timing issues, carburetor problems, and hard cold starts were frequent complaints, especially in colder climates. The torsion bar suspension was innovative, but early versions weren't fully sorted, leading to uneven ride quality and floaty handling at speed. Steering felt loose, and the car could sway unpredictably in curves or under braking. Dodge used the Power Flight and Torque Flight automatics, both of which were advanced, But some models suffered from early failures, slipping gears, and harsh shifts. Repairing them wasn't easy or cheap. Perhaps the most infamous issue: rust. Chrysler products from 1957 were notorious for poor corrosion protection. Owners often discovered rust in the frame, fenders, and floorboards after only a few winters, especially in the northern U.S. The 1957 Dodge Coronet was ambitious but uneven, an exciting design wrapped around questionable durability and erratic performance. It could be fast and flashy one day, finicky and frustrating the next. Number 2. Why the 1957 Plymouth Belvedere was considered one of the worst and dangerous. Rushed production. Poor quality. Plymouth was desperate to beat Ford and GM in the design race, so the 57 models were rushed to market. Result: major build quality issues, from ill-fitting panels to electrical gremlins, paint that flaked early, and parts that rattled or failed. One of the worst offenders of 1950s, rust. Many 1957 Belvederes began rusting within a year, especially in northern climates with salt on roads. Some dealerships had to replace entire fenders or floors under warranty. Chrysler later admitted to skipping rust-proofing steps. The car's unibody design was advanced, but early versions lacked reinforcement. In serious accidents, the body crumpled unpredictably, offering little protection to passengers. Like most 1950s cars, no seat belts, airbags, or head restraints. Sharp dashboard edges, rigid steering columns, and poor crash engineering made collisions deadly. Even with a powerful V8, the Belvedere had vague steering and underwhelming brakes. Owners reported that the car was difficult to keep stable at highway speeds or during panic stops. A real 1957 Belvedere was buried in a time capsule in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and dug up in 2007. It was almost completely destroyed by rust, despite being entombed, a perfect metaphor for its real-world durability. Number 1. Why the 1957 Ford Fairlane was so fussy. The 57 model was an all-new design, built fast to compete with GM and Chrysler. That speed came at a cost. Inconsistent quality control, loose trim, and panel misalignments were common. One of the most rust-prone cars of the decade. Owners complained about rust bubbling under paint within a year, especially around fender wells, rockers, and door sills. Even light rain or humidity could accelerate corrosion. Super fussy about climate and storage. The Fairlane's electrical system wasn't always reliable. Issues with failing headlight switches, flaky gauges, and inconsistent turn signals made it annoying to maintain. Soft suspension gave it a floaty ride, but it also meant the car was hard to handle at high speeds or on rough roads. Required regular alignment and shock checks to drive properly. Fussy for daily use. The retractable hardtop, Skyliner version, while super cool, was loaded with over 600 feet of wiring and 10-plus motors. A mechanic's nightmare when something went wrong. Even standard models often needed frequent tuning to keep their carburetors and timing in sync. The 1957 Ford Fairlane was like a good-looking date with high maintenance. Gorgeous, but demanding. It was stylish and powerful, but beneath the chrome, it required extra care, constant attention, and a garage far away from salty roads.